All right, so welcome to another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. With you today is Falcon Paladin and Wade as always.
How did we get back to doing intros?
I don't know. I just felt like doing an intro today.
You did one last week, and the week before that. Now it's a pattern.
It is. It's a pattern now.
Pattern of precedence. It says we're doing them again.
Okay, fine. We can whack the intro. You start it naturally then. Go.
This is the natural start. We've got the intro.
You don't like the intro, though. You're complaining about the intro.
Yeah. Me complaining about the intro is now the intro. Welcome to the intro.
Oh. All right, cool. Works for me.
I'm glad.
Works for me. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you know what this week is, Wade?
I didn't realize it was a week of something.
It is the 4th day of the month of July this week.
Okay, cool.
Yep, the 4th of July. It is the greatest holiday known to man, unless you're in any number of countries that aren't America, in which case it is not.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how to respond.
I don't know. It's just an excuse to take a day off work, eat some barbecue, blow some stuff up, watch other stuff get blown up, spend some time with family. Really can't argue with it, honestly.
I'm going to wait for all the tweets from American youths wishing America a happy 2018th birthday.
That is another good part of the 4th of July. I like it very much. Oh, people are dumb. You know what's interesting, though? The most 4th of July content I've seen so far in my social media has been, what about the dogs? Literally.
Oh, all the dogs that don't like fireworks?
I've seen posts about more dogs go missing on the 4th of July. Make sure you take care of your dogs. Here's something you can feed your dogs that tastes like peanut butter and relaxes them when the fireworks are going off. Please don't set off fireworks for the whole night. My dog gets restless. My dog ran away last year there's just dog. It freaks out dogs. I'm like, I get it. But why is that the focus this year?
Jordan's dog ran through a door.
Yes.
And that was just like thunder. I wonder how his poor doggos are going to go with the 4th of July.
I don't know. He told that story on stream on Sunday at the Gauntlet Global Open, twitch.tv/GauntletSC2, 8 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. And there was a hole in his door because a thunderstorm freaked out his big dog so much it ran through the door, like from the outside door. Wait, or was it an inside door? This makes more sense if it was an inside door, I'm realizing.
I'm thinking it makes more sense that the dog was outside and scared and trapped by the thunder and wanted, where the dog knows people are is inside a house.
Okay, but
he described it as the pit bull made a doggy door. You do not have a doggy door on an inside door.
That's an excellent point, but have you checked the thickness of outside exterior doors compared to interior doors in your house?
Have you checked the amount of strength a dog can have when scared?
No.
We could just ask him.
We could. Dear George, but he's casting right now. We can't ask him now. Oh, I'm gonna chat him, and if he's not even on Discord,
I'm gonna ask him in the stream chat.
Oh yes, do that. Okay, we'll do that. It'll be a live question answer session with just Jordan during the recording of this podcast. Nothing we've done before. This is new.
I just realized I've got the stream on mute, so I won't know if he answers.
Oh. Tell him he's really pretty good at typing responses into chat. He did that at the Gauntlet anyway. Just tell him to type his response. Because again, just to reiterate, I just feel like outside doors are a lot stronger in thickness and in building material, and to really rock through one of those as a dog seems almost impossible. Inside door, like if he's got the dog locked up in another room that's kind of the dog room and the thunder freaks it out and it wants to come where people are through an interior door, that makes a lot more sense to me because the doors on the inside of my house are a lot flimsier and a lot less able to withstand a 75-pound dog coming crashing through there in abject terror.
You're probably right.
I hear what you're saying though, because he did say he made a doggy door, which is not. You don't have doggy doors inside your house. Not a thing. All right. So question asked. We'll come back. We'll come back to it later. So, one of our Discord celebrities got a post on the StarCraft subreddit voted to the very tippy top today.
Ah. Yeah, I did see this. It's Protoss units categorized by their faction specifications.
Yes, which is a little bit confusing. You're like,
yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful.
Specifications. What?
Yeah, and then you realize there are 6 factions of just Protoss.
Yeah, which I don't think I was aware of. I didn't know there were that many, especially old Ire versus new Ire. Like, wait, what? What is that?
Yeah, I've never seen an Ire Guard. I don't think I've ever seen one.
No, but maybe it's a unit that you can't control in the Legacy of the Void campaign.
Right, that might be it.
Could be. Also, 2 types of purifiers, Cyberos and Glacius.
Yeah, didn't know that either.
I mean, I was aware of Ire, Nerazim, Purifiers, and Tal'Darim, so that all made sense. But the 2 variations on the existing ones, nope. Anyway, it was good. As of recording, it's got 592 upvotes, and a lot of work went into it. It's basically a graph. Across the top, you have those specifications, and then down the side, you've got Melee Warrior, Ranged Warrior, Robotic Support, Cloaked Warrior, Psionic Warrior, Robotic Assault, Robotic Transport, Robotic Siege, Starfighter, Support Ship, Assault Ship, and Capital Ship. Whew, it's a mouthful. Yeah, but he did a good job. It's all color coordinated. He got the 3D portraits and tossed them in there, so it looks awesome.
Yeah. Why is the mothership for New Ire and the Tal'Darim called the same thing? Shouldn't it be the Death Fleet for Tal'Darim? I thought that's what it was called.
It's just the mothership is called the Death Fleet by itself?
Oh, no, it's kind of like comparing the Golden Armada to the Death Fleet. My bad.
Yeah. Apparently, the motherships are different enough. Well, I guess it's just...
They're called the same thing.
Yeah, I guess it's just saying what units exist with each army.
Yeah, but they almost all of them have different names, right? Scout, Phoenix, Corsair, Scout, Mirage.
Sure, but Colossus is the same both for New Ire and for the Purifiers.
That's true.
That's funny. There's Warp Prism for New Ire, and there's War Prism for Tal'Darim.
I cut out one of the P's. 50% less P.
Yeah, and it's very Tal'Darim appropriate.
Yeah,
does the War Prism do the same thing as the Warp Prism, and they just change the name?
It can shoot.
It can shoot.
I don't know if it can carry units because I don't do that in the co-op, which is where I've used it. But it can shoot air and ground units, I believe.
Okay, so I found the link. Some of these might just be from the co-op. I'm realizing, which I don't play enough of. So they're stolen Daylom Warp Prisms armed with weapons. There we go.
Yeah.
The War Prism is notably Alarak's sole air unit outside of a Death Fleet call down.
Yeah.
So Alarak has Death Fleet and the War Prism, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So it's got a Phase Blaster that does 10 damage to ground and air, range of 7, cooldown 2. So not great, but makes sense.
It's not particularly useful, but it's just like I'm assuming they threw it in there so it doesn't move in with the rest of the army.
Right. Kind of like they did with High Templar.
Yep.
So you should check it out. We'll put a link to it in the show notes if you want to see the art that Royal Alchemist YT tossed up.
Mm-hmm.
Very proud that one of our own Discord users was featured on the StarCraft subreddit. I think that's more upvotes than anything I've ever posted to StarCraft has gotten. Pretty sure.
I mean, thankfully, that's something you can check.
It is. Oh, yeah. Hold on.
What about your ult, though?
To the StarCraft subreddit, definitely more than I've ever seen there.
The most upvotes I've ever gotten on anything is only 112, and that is to StarCraft.
What was it?
In Control's thoughts on Zerg.
His what? Oh, his thoughts.
His thoughts on the Zerg.
What are his thoughts on Zerg, Somicron?
I could not recreate the magic.
Aw.
That is in Control. But there's the link if you want to see.
I'll check it out. All right, so let's see. Top submissions. Oh, no, I lied. Okay, so 3 years ago, I posted a tweet from the DreamHack organizers saying they weren't going to release their replays from DreamHack because they believe there's no demand for it. And that got 646 upvotes. People were mad. And then DreamHack changed their mind because of it. I changed the reality of stuff. I don't know how I say that.
You changed things.
Changed things. Yeah. Low interest in replays, so we don't collect them.
Yeah, because there's never ever been a scandal about GSL replays getting out.
Nope, definitely not.
Yeah. Because nobody wants replays.
Stupid DreamHack. They fixed it, though. I think they've released replays in every tournament since. So,
yeah.
Good job, DreamHack. Let the people be heard, I say.
So what about your ult? What's the highest it got?
Let's check the alt. Good idea. It's going to pop here.
Authenticators.
Two-factor authentication.
Someone's taking care of his stuff.
I have so many of these now, it's actually getting hard to keep track of. You know what's funny is it's a repost, which makes a lot of sense. To gaming, of all subreddits. Yeah, I posted a link to CD Projekt Red's booth in 2004 at E3
Okay.
and got 30.7 thousand upvotes.
That's amazing.
And a lot of the comments are like, this is a repost. It's like, yeah, I'm sure it is. It's amazing.
Was this really their booth?
Yeah, they just had little walls, and they had a chair and a keyboard and a monitor and a little PC and one poster.
And a can of Pepsi holding up the table by the looks of it?
Probably not, but maybe.
No, probably not, but it does look like it's placed there for structural support. It does look like the table looks like it's tilting.
Yeah, maybe it is. Not very much structural support from a can of Pepsi, though, let's be honest.
Are you kidding? You can stand on one of those. Even if it's empty, you can stand on one. It'll hold your weight if you balance properly.
Okay, so it depends on how you're balancing, but yeah.
Now, am I allowed to link this? Because it is your alt, and I wouldn't want to dox you.
Oh, yeah, crap. Just link the image.
Okay, sure.
And then this one is my second most ever, and I got... where's my thing?
Is it a repost? No.
No, but it's not original content. Like, I didn't draw it.
Wait, you mean you didn't do this?
No, nope. But yeah, 8,675 upvotes on this one. And it's just basically, if you're a Rick and Morty fan, if you remember the episodes where Jerry and Doofus Rick are friends, it's just basically they get together and have a day out, and they make t-shirts, and it just makes me so happy. It really does, that these two doofuses can connect on some kind of level and enjoy each other's company enough to hang out and forget about how crappy most of their life actually is.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I see why that would make you happy.
Anyway, so yep, that is the Twitters. My account has 21,000 post karma and 177,000 comment karma. I'm really active on the chat boards, turns out. I don't know. I've always been active on message boards ever since I discovered them back in, what do we want to count as a message board?
Forums?
Forums, yeah.
That's basically the internet in its earliest form.
Cool. Well,
besides like email.
Chat rooms, though. Remember chat rooms?
Not really.
Too young for chat rooms. So back in the early days, before there were forums necessarily, well, I guess, I don't know, Usenet probably had really rudimentary forums way back in the day, but chat rooms were probably my first experience interacting with multiple people at the same time.
Okay.
So basically they were just chat conversations, but multiple people were in there, and they'd be separated by topics of interest or where you were. Like there was a Salt Lake City chat room, and there was a, NFL chat room, and the internet was small enough at this point. America Online was small enough at this point that it wasn't just overrun with 100 million people, but you'd go in there and chat with other people and lie about who you were, and they'd lie about who they were, and you develop friendship and argue about things and agree about things, and it was fun. So yeah.
Never did that.
Nope. I could tell by your reaction.
I'm not even a big forums user.
Right.
Like, if you looked at my Reddit account, there's only like 9 posts, and I've had it for a couple years at this point. I don't know. I like passively consuming content like this, but not engaging in it, really.
Sure. And I don't post a lot. I comment a lot more. Just because posting's kind of hit and miss. I mean, what the problem really is that you can post something new to a subreddit and get it downvoted or just completely ignored, and then 6 hours later somebody else posts the exact same thing and gets 10,000 upvotes. There's no rhyme or reason to it, and it just kind of drives me crazy.
That is true.
It just depends. It really depends on those knights of new, as they call themselves, the people that sort by new and watch the new stuff as it comes in and upvotes them. And if you just catch the wrong attitude by the knight of new that looks at your thing and they downvote it, that starts an avalanche. And it's really hard to recover from those early downvotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Reddit.
Reddit. Love it and hate it.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Although, I don't know, I kind of consider Reddit to be Facebook in the sense that it is what you make it. You choose who you follow, you choose who your friends are, you choose what subreddits you participate in, and you can make Reddit what you want it to be. Hoorah. All right. So that's a big Reddit discussion.
That is, yeah. Cool, so what else do we have on the list? Oh, okay, I want to tell my work story.
Oh, yeah, work story, go.
Okay, so yesterday at work, it's me, my boss, and my coworker, the other baker. No packers because the packer was sick. And I go to my boss, do you want a hand pack? And he's like, no, I've got it. You just keep going with your stuff. I'm like, well, I need you to pack some racks. Otherwise, I can't keep doing my job. I can't put the bread anywhere. And he goes, oh, okay, I guess just get started on this. And he's standing there packing, kind of in silence. I'm not a huge talker at work. And he goes, oh, I heard you ran into Tonya the other day. And I'm like, who?
Tonya?
And he goes,
okay.
Tonya, she's she works down the back. She's not all there. I'm like, you're going to have to narrow it down. The other guy goes, the real skinny one, anorexic looking. I'm like, still can't picture. And he goes, she yelled at you the other day. And that should have been something that I remember.
Yes, but no, huh?
No. I eventually worked out who it was. And that interaction was, I thought she was far enough away she had to yell to me.
Oh, okay. So the volume wasn't that she was upset. You interpreted it to mean she was just far away.
I in fact interpreted it incorrectly. She was upset. Because the reason why my boss was asking me about my interaction with Tonya is apparently she yelled at him about me.
Oh, relating to the time when she yelled at you?
Yes.
Oh, what is happening? Okay, so she yelled at you about what?
Okay, so it's about midnight. And if an employee wants to be let out, like leave the store, they have to be let out so that someone's always at the door and strangers just don't walk in. Because sure enough, an employee's going to leave the door open and, all kinds of manner and stuff could go wrong.
Yes.
What was I going to say? Yeah, and she goes, oh, can you let me out? And then the doorbell rings, right?
Sure.
And that's actually the second time it's wrong. And before I can say anything, she goes, because I can't let that person in because he can't check my stuff to let me out. I'm like, yes, he can.
Yeah. What did she mean by that?
I don't know.
Did she mean like if he does, I'm in trouble, he can't? Or he literally is not allowed to? Or what?
I think she meant he's not allowed to.
Oh, okay.
But A, the guy that walked in after she left was her boss. And B, everyone can check your stuff.
Oh, okay. You can check each other's stuff? Boy, that seems like a real way to circumvent this precaution.
No. The person who's staying inside the store, like who's the one who's opening the door, has to be the one to check your stuff. Like you can't, okay, you check my stuff, and then walk out together. Like, because then, that's not exactly useful. I go, no, he just go get the door, he'll let you out. And she's like, okay. And I started to walk away and she goes, don't you look at me like I'm an idiot? I have 2 degrees,
You have 145 IQ. Oh gosh, that's terrible.
And then she was later yelling at my boss because why does he have to be so... I can't remember what he said, but she used the word to describe me. I think just awkward, I think was her way of putting it. Like, it wasn't rude.
Had you responded at all?
What do you mean? No, I just told her to go let that guy in, and then I walked away. I went back to doing my job.
And she decided you were awkward based on that.
I think she thought it was like I was being difficult. Like, I was just not doing it because I didn't want to.
Oh, sure. Anyway, so she gets mad and she yells at you about this, and you heard what she said?
She yells at my boss.
Okay, that's the first thing she does.
That's the thing she does later that I'm being told about. Like, because I was she asked me to let her out so she could leave for the day. So I didn't see her, for another couple days. And that's when my boss was like, oh, hey, she yelled at me about you.
Yep.
So you have the confrontation where she wants to be let out. And then I don't see her for like 2 days. And then as I'm packing bread later yesterday, my boss brings it up to me. Okay, we all clear?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if she's now going to complain to the store manager. I don't know what she would complain about or how she would phrase it, but that's what that is.
Lack of communication from Wade.
Yes.
Yep.
Difficult to communicate with, apparently.
I don't know. It sounds kind of legit if you frame it that way.
No.
I'm just saying it sounds like it. I'm not saying that it is.
I'm difficult to communicate with as an employee she doesn't have to communicate with, period.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
All right. Same page. Well, I hope...
You'll be a little more supportive.
She's crazy? I mean, do I really have to say that?
I don't know, maybe.
All right. She crazy. She's not all there.
Tonya, if you're listening to this, I meant the other Tonya.
Obviously, the other Tonya.
Obviously. Is there another Tonya? I don't think so, but I meant her.
No. I mean, there's enough Tanyas that when Wade's boss says Tanya, he doesn't know who his boss is talking about.
To be fair, he could say a lot of names and I wouldn't be sure he's talking about. This is something a lot of people have picked on you about. Thank you. Because I don't usually go to a lot of effort to remember people's names.
Yeah. Names can be hard. I'm with you there.
Like, even in high school, and I moved to high school for my last year, and people were like kind of giving me grief that I couldn't always remember the names of people within my circle of friends. And then I remember this one instance specifically, but they were giving me grief. And then a girl walked past, and I was like, oh, hey, Kate, I don't remember her name now. This was 7 years ago.
So it's appropriate.
It's appropriate. I'm like, oh, hey, Katie. And she was like a year or two below me, and I had only been going to that school for like 4 months at this point. And they're like, but her name you can remember. I'm like, I have homeroom with her.
Yeah. If I see this person every day, eventually I'll get the name. Probably took me a while.
Eventually. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't hang out with her at like any point.
Right.
We weren't friends, except like saying hey. But the person I was friends with, I couldn't remember their name.
No, that is kind of sad, actually. That said, however, I actually have 2 cousins from the same side of the family, both about the same age, both about the same height and build, both about the same kind of personality, and both the same like hair.
Okay.
So yeah, I hadn't seen either of them for a couple years, and they showed up to this thing, and I was like, "Hey, Erin," and it wasn't Erin, it was Ian, and it was really bad.
Is Erin a guy's name there?
It can be both, depending on the spelling. Aaron is male, Erin is female.
Yeah, that's the same in Australia, but you pronounce those 2 words differently here. It's Aaron and Erin. They're not even like remotely similar here.
Oh, no, just Erin for both.
No. Okay. I don't want to go around to America and be like, oh, sup, Aaron? And he's like, her?
That'll work. That works for... I honestly think if you referred to a female Erin as an Erin, however you're pronouncing that A, I think you're fine. There is no distinction in America.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
We learned something today. So I do have a tiny bit of a kid story.
Okay. Tiny kid story.
My 5-year-old girl is desperate to grow up. Like, she wants her ears pierced. She wants to wear makeup. She wants to wear high heels. She wants a job. She wants to do all the things that comes with being an adult.
She wants a job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She wants to go to work
Okay.
and earn money and come home every day. She wants to do what her mom and dad do.
Okay.
So the latest incident, these usually come up, these demands for being an adult usually come up when she's tired. So tonight at bedtime, her rant was that she wants braces. And she wants braces now. And I mean, we could try to explain to her that you have all baby teeth right now, Caitlin, and based on your genetics, you'll probably need braces at some point, but putting them on your teeth now does nobody any good. Doesn't matter. She wants braces because bigger people have braces. That's literally her thought process.
Okay.
I know, right? Braces suck.
Small children. Yes, I've never had them.
They're so bad. I had them for 2 years.
My brother had them. I think my sister had them. I don't remember. Sorry, sister.
Outed.
I don't remember. Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want that? Small children are adorable.
They're dumb. It's a symbol of adulthood-ish, right?
I've always considered it to be more of a teenager thing.
Yeah, but when you're 5, teenagers are basically adults, right?
Yeah, teenagers think they're adults.
Sure, and little kids think that teenagers are adults. They're the size of adults by that point, right? 14, 15.
That's a fair point, yeah.
Yeah, so as far as they're concerned, they're adults, and they have metal on their teeth, and that's a signifier that you're an adult, by golly.
Right. Yeah, that's still weird.
It is weird. And again, genetics imply that she'll probably need braces. This is hard to tell at this point.
What kind of a job does she want when she doesn't grow up?
She's wanted to be a lifeguard.
Usually volunteer work, but okay.
Yes. No, there's jobs where you get paid to be a lifeguard. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I said usually, not always.
I really think usually lifeguards get paid, at least in America. Because if you're putting somebody in charge of saving people's lives, you generally want them to be motivated.
Paid and paid a lot are not the same thing.
Oh, no. They don't get paid anything. Figuratively.
Had me confused for a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I know. No. They're not high-paying jobs. I don't think in any situation. I can't think of anywhere there'd be a lifeguard where they're making like $100,000 a year. But yes, but they get paid.
2 things. Google autocompletes are all lifeguards, as all lifeguards are hot.
Yes, that's a good autocomplete.
And the answer is the average hourly pay for all lifeguards is around $9.25.
Yeah, the national minimum wage is like $8.25 or something right now. So you're beating minimum wage, but not by much.
Okay, and lifeguards who are on salary in Australia get the average pay is $20.82 per hour.
Oh, that's substantially better.
It's more than double.
Yeah. Today we have learned more things together.
It's basically saying there are volunteer lifeguards and stuff like that. usually at like community pools.
Yes.
Who knows what's going on down at Bondi?
I literally have no idea.
Bondi's beach.
Is it spelled the same as Bondi?
Yeah.
No.
There's literally a TV show called Bondi Lifeguards.
Yes, the Google pulled it right up. I was thinking Bondi like this.
Oh, that's Bandai.
Yeah, okay. I just figured with your accent, maybe that's how you said Bandai?
No.
Bondi? You see what I mean, though.
I see what you mean.
Okay, good. So Bondi Beach. The Google helped me out with that. When I searched Bondi Beach, it pulled up Bondi Beach right away. It knew what I was trying to do.
Fair enough.
Yerp. Well, I think it's time for the NBA Minute, Wade.
Yeah. You said there was some like big news?
There was
I'm pretty sure.
a lot of big news.
And that you might need some extra time.
I might need 2 minutes, Wade.
And I said...
Sure. Why don't you have more? Do you need a whole podcast devoted to NBA news? I believe is what you said.
There is no proof that I said that.
No, there is not.
I said, because we didn't have NBA Minute last week, you could have 2.
Oh, okay. 2 minutes it is.
2 minutes. 2 minutes on the... not timer. Stopwatch. Starting now.
Holy smokes, NBA offseason is best offseason as it always is, but extra insane this year. LeBron signs with the Lakers a 4-year deal for him, longest deal he's signed in a while, which might mean that he thinks his body is breaking down and wants to get paid for 4 years instead of 1. We'll have to wait and see about that. I think he's an alien, but I thought Kobe was an alien too, but he eventually got hurt and retired, so I don't know. LeBron's on the track for that. All right, so Laker fans are very, very happy about that. But the other signings for the Lakers include JaVale McGee, known crazy person in the NBA. I'm not sure how to say that correctly. Rajon Rondo, another crazy person. And Lance Stevenson. None of these players can shoot. All of them have had problems with teammates in the past with focus, with playing hard every night. I don't know why the Lakers signed these people. I have to assume it's LeBron saying, if you want to sign me, if you want me to come to LA, you need to get these people on board. He's a bad GM. He's a bad manager of his teams. Has been bad in Cleveland, has been bad in Miami, and now he's bad for LA. So Laker fans are simultaneously stoked that LeBron James is coming to play for them, but at the same time saying, JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, why these players? And I can't figure it out. And then additional insanity. The Golden State Warriors, who already have 4 All-NBA players on their team, signed a 5th All-NBA player in DeMarcus Cousins. He signed a 1-year deal, mid-level exception for $5 million a year. Yes, he's injured. Yes, he can't play until February, but just being able to play Draymond Green, DeMarcus Cousins, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson as your starting 5. That is an all-star caliber team lineup for one team in Golden State. I don't know what is happening. Golden State is going to win the league for the next 10 years running at this rate. So Laker fans went from ecstatic to basically saying we're never beating Golden State. We're never getting out of the West in the playoffs, and it makes me happy because I hate the Lakers.
Ooh.
Done. Ending on a happy note. That was good. That was a good minute. 2 minutes.
So we're pretty much at time here.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you have something to say about the Just Jordan Samacron feud, which is ongoing. To the point that you have changed your Twitter handle to Toy Story is overrated.
Okay. Not my Twitter. Is that part the handle? I thought the @ part was the handle. Because I haven't changed the @ part. It's still @AT Samacron.
Whatever. Your name? Sure.
Yeah, I don't know why they have 2 names, but I'm glad. So, a few weeks ago, I made the controversial statement that Toy Story is overrated.
Yep.
Which it is. Thank you for agreeing.
I agree you said that.
Man, you're great with the PR. Jordan, who often bulk listens to podcasts while he's spinning signs because he's not an intellectual worker, finally caught up, had a listen, but decided to call me out on Twitter for this.
Yes.
Saying that I am indeed a monster and that he should be forgiven for all his sins or something like that.
Something like that.
So he basically thought it was a little unfair that I make fun of him for not seeing Star Wars and asked people to vote whether or not we're both despicable or I'm a monster or he's a monster.
Oh,
and people
yes.
overwhelmingly voted I'm despicable.
No, really? Last I checked, the people said that both of you suck.
Oh, yeah, okay, that one's we're both despicable. That's the winner. But out of the 2 of us, right? Which of us is more despicable is me. I'm apparently the true monster here.
Okay, what are the percentages, though? What percentage of people said you're both terrible?
61.
Okay, so the majority of people said we hate you both. And then what percentage said that they thought you were more despicable?
26%.
Okay. And then Jordan?
Yeah, 13%.
Yeah.
26%, by the way. If this were the Electoral College, I could have won.
No, you're exaggerating.
So apparently, I'm a huge monster.
Yeah, I mean, not liking Toy Story kind of means you're a little bit heartless.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it was overrated.
But that's a shortcut. Like, I don't know what I've said is overrated while simultaneously liking it.
McNuggets. I like McNuggets, but they're overrated. People like them too much.
Okay, so you use it this way, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you can't point to anything that you can identify as something that you like, but you don't think that everyone on a collective group likes it too much.
Gotcha.
That was a question.
Oh, the way you said it and your tone of voice did not imply that was a question.
My apologies.
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, there's a place where something is good, but everybody else thinks it's way better than it is. Yeah, no, I get that.
And you... No, I asked, is there anything you can identify that you like?
Okay.
That everyone else likes too much?
What is
Rick and Morty?
What is overrated? I really like Rick and Morty. Really like Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Like, when I watched it with my wife, every episode as it came up, I was like, oh, it's this episode. I was so happy it was this episode. And then every episode turned into this episode, and I realized I like all of it.
Mean Girls?
Mean Girls is incredible. Again, if you'd like to disparage Mean Girls, I will ban you from anywhere I have the power to ban you from. Which is not a large list, but it's there. I mean, I guess, boy, if I say this, I'll venture into like Jordan territory for making people hate me. Soccer.
Okay. You like soccer, but you think it's overrated?
I like soccer. I will watch soccer in short spurts. I enjoy watching highlights of soccer, but that it's the biggest thing in the world for a lot of humans on planet Earth makes no sense to me.
Yeah, same.
Okay, overrated.
I'm on the same page as that. I think saying something's overrated also works if you don't like it, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
I don't like soccer, but yeah.
Yep. Boy, we have come to consensus on many things today.
Yeah. Look at us agreeing on stuff.
So many things.
I think we're at time.
We're at time. All right, so that's going to be it from us. Tune in next time for a Ant-Man and the Wasp review. Not sure how much of the podcast that will be, but depending on how much we like it or hate it, I guess it could take up a lot of time. But yeah, thanks for being here. Feel free to support the podcast through Patreon. There's a link in the show notes. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Obviously, you know about the YouTube channel most likely. I'm not sure how you're here if you don't know about the YouTube channel, but anyway, thanks for being a supporter of the thing. There's also merch. If you want to buy a t-shirt or a hoodie or a mug, you can do that. Link in the show notes as well. And we'll be back next week with more adventures of Wade and Falcon. And until then, you take care of yourself. So full disclosure, when we were planning this podcast earlier today, Somicron had the good idea to ask the friends in Discord. There's a link in the description of the podcast, in the notes of this podcast, as well as on Twitter, for suggestions on what we should talk about. And somebody said, you should talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp if it's out already. And first of all, that person showed a distinct lack of understanding as to when that movie comes out, because no, it's not out yet. But the buzz around it is good. Ho ho, buzz. Man, the only puns I make are accidental, and I realize them after I say them. And then I'm like, why?